Welcome to AI Made Simple with Carmen, the podcast that takes the confusion out of artificial intelligence and shows you how to use it with confidence. I'm your host, Carmen Skipworth, global AI strategist, international speaker, best-selling author of Lead with Intelligence, and Grammy-nominated associate producer. Each episode, I sit down with innovators, experts, founders, and business leaders to find out what's actually working with AI. No hype, no jargon, and no complicated tech talk, just what's real. Whether you're a business leader, entrepreneur, or simply curious about how AI is changing the way we work and live, you're in the right place. You'll walk away with tools you can actually use, strategies you can apply, and a clearer picture of what's working, what's not, and what's next. This is AI Made Simple. Hit subscribe, settle in, and let's get real about AI. Let's dive in. Welcome to my show. Hi, welcome back to AI Made Simple with Carmen. Today we have Jennie López. Jennie, or J-Lo, I love that. J-Lo embodies bring yourself in everything she does. She empowers inclusion and inspires leaders, entrepreneurs, and organizations to reach new heights through her ultimate superpower, authenticity. Boy, we definitely need authenticity. Her unique strengths are rooted in her Latina heritage, passions, and experiences as a mom. Intentionally using these strengths has been the key to her personal and professional success. She is originally from Puerto Rico, moved to the U.S. to earn her master's in chemical engineering. Wow, geez, really smart here. Her 23-year career in Fortune 500 companies, including leadership roles in manufacturing and quality, global brand leadership, and chief operating officer. One of her most fulfilling roles was serving as VP, head of global recruiting and talent acquisition at Eli Lilly and Company. She also served on Eli Lilly's executive board for the Organization of Latinos and led the Eli Lilly Latino VP President Council, where she focused on advancing Latino talent. Wow, very well achieved here. Jennie is also the author of the Amazon bestseller Intentional Unicorn, and a contributing author of Hispanic Stars Rising Volume 2. She also delivered the message of the life of fitting in as a TEDx speaker. Jennie is a co-host of the podcast Very Caliente, featured in the LA Tribune Podcast Network. She's a sought-after speaker for national and global organization and has received many honors. Okay, welcome here. I forgot to include your family. I've always loved including. So you give credit to your family, your husband Brad, and you have 2 children who are your driving force behind everything she does. All right, after years of hiding her unicorn horn, Jennie now proudly embraces it and empowers others to do the same. Wow. So happy to have you on here. Caliente already.
Thanks for having me here, Carmen. I can't wait to have this discussion. Because in the world of AI, that's what we need, authenticity.
Yes, we do. So tell us about authenticity as your superpower and how you apply it in your career. So
yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it came from my own journey, right? Because as you mentioned, actually, you mentioned one side of me. I had 2 careers in parallel. One of them was the chemical engineer career that you mentioned. The other one is that I was also a professional dancer. So professional dancer as a backup dancer for many Latino artists, TV shows, commercials. I was an NFL cheerleader. And then I also worked for the company Zumba as an international presenter for them. So I had those 2 careers. And again, people like you say, oh, how cool. But the thing is that I never fit in any of those worlds, right, Carmen? Like I was too nerdy for a dancer. I was too bubbly for an engineer. Yes, and I kept getting all this feedback that I needed to change, I needed to fit into the world, what an engineer should look like and lead like, etc. And the more I tried to fit that box, the worse it got. And then I said, you know what, I'm just going to be authentic, but I'm going to be very intentional. And that's pretty much what inspired me and to be myself. And for a hot second, I doubted because I said, oh my goodness, I really don't have a role model. But I said, what if I become that role model for others? And that's whenever I said, that's it. That's my secret superpower, and what differentiates me is my authenticity, and I live with that, and I empower other people to do that as well.
Yeah, that's very bold of you because trying to fit in two different places, you know, cheerleader, chemical engineering. I mean, I'm looking at you now and I said, you definitely fit in everywhere. But I can imagine back then, right? When we're younger,
Yeah.
we're a little more reserved. And then authenticity, and how does that play a part now? The fact that you are now a leader in it, right? In terms of
Yes,
people
yes,
now looking up
exactly.
to you, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you empower people by obviously making sure that they know that whenever they operate from their authentic element, that's whenever they do their best work. Otherwise, it's like acting, and there's so much energy into acting a persona, the way you're supposed to be leading or behaving or acting, etc., instead of focusing all that energy into giving the best of you. So I always empower people to do that through my motivational speaking and also my coaching. And then when you carve, how do you say, like a personal brand that is very authentic to you, that's whenever you become a magnet for opportunities, and it's just very aligned. So whenever you're in alignment, also it helps you not getting into burnout. So I do it by teaching it, but I also do it by being an example for that. And for example, if you go to LinkedIn, which usually is this like professional, well, bottom up, you know, in times of posts, I got this award or I got this promotion. You'll see me
yeah.
dancing. You'll see me dancing because that's my jam. I love it. I empower through dancing as well. And you have no idea how many people will say, Jenny, this is not TikTok, so stop dancing in LinkedIn. And I say, well, maybe I'm not for you, and that's totally fine. But be you, be authentic, and don't worry about what will people say, because you're not going to be the person that, if you try to be that person that you want everybody to like you, then you're going to be very vanilla. You're not going to differentiate yourself.
Yeah, that's a very good point to point out because, right, if you can't please everybody, right,
Yes.
you know, and then you lose your identity and your
Yes.
authenticity because people wonder who you are because one minute you're saying yes to this and that. No, I love that, and you've got this great energy about you, so I can see how it empowers other people. And I'm going to just bring in AI into this a little bit.
Yes.
Do you find AI helping you on that? Because authenticity and AI, does that kind of go hand in hand a little bit or not?
Yeah, I've gone through a whole phase of AI. I was one of the early adopters. I've been using AI, gosh, since 2020. Well, actually, when people didn't know about ChatGPT, because I was part of the Tony Robbins world, and they
Oh,
usually give you an advance before most of the people know about it.
right.
So it was pretty cool. But then I got also to the point that I think I was overusing it, to the point that I remember my husband saying, "Hey, I used to read your newsletters, and then I realized you stopped, you know, doing it yourself and using AI." So I stopped. My husband told me I stopped reading them. I'm like, "Okay, that's good feedback." And I think I just started realizing, you know, relying too much on AI. So I was losing a little bit of my essence and my energy and my voice. And now when everybody caught on AI, it's like almost everybody felt the same. Sometimes you go in social media and you hear the same message, almost like people are copying the same thing. And instead of
Yeah,
like at least making it their own with their own story or something, they're just doing the same thing. And it's just you get really tired of that. So
right.
yes, AI has helped me a lot through efficiency, but I have learned over time to make sure that I'm not just completely putting a, how do you say it in English, like a something like a blindfold, right? And just totally relying on it. That authenticity, that's gonna be your differentiator, your competitive advantage. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He's like, AI, 100%, he's an AI guru. I said, Jenny, I think like the whole coaching thing is going to go away because people are going to know what to do through AI. And I said, and then he said, what's going to be what differentiates you? And I'm like, my authenticity, believe it or not, that's going to be really the secret ingredient at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, and it is hard because you're right. We become dependent and
Yes.
blindfolded, and it becomes easy. You're like, oh, well, they'll just write it for me, but then you don't realize that,
Yes.
wow, it's stale, it's boring, it's not a reflection of who you are. Like, I can't imagine a bubbly AI. I haven't come across one of those yet, which is kind of like you. So it's more of a combination of using it and putting your um, touch to it, your
Yes.
pattern, your style, your branding to it. So it does help you in, I guess, in writing your emails and stuff. And what about ideas? Do you find it AI to be very creative as well to help you in terms of any of your?
It does. It does. And for the longest time, I thought that, oh, AI should be better than me, right? Because it has this like massive brain. And that's when I realized I was probably relying too much on it. I said, okay, AI, go ahead and do your thing, do your research, especially when agents came out, right? Like do your research and find, I think this is my competitors, but like find my true competitors and then give me a whole social media for the next month and then, you know, analyze the analytics. I just want him or her, I don't know, like the
Right.
robot, right?
Yeah.
Do the whole thing and then spit out the paper and I just like follow like a zombie and do the video exactly how he told me. But I realized when I started doing that, the engagement on my videos actually went down, and
Wow.
I was using it as a leverage for quantity, right? Because I wanted to be consistent, because usually that's what the algorithm wants. But my engagement went down, and then I said, what's
Wow.
going on? Yes, what's going on? So I now use it more for research, but still connecting with my own intuition in terms of what's connecting. And a great example, the last 2 weeks, I said, you know what, thank you, AI, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break of you. I'm going to go back again and hone in on my ideal client and be all in for a month without too much of AI and see what happens. And my engagement went up again. So I think it's good for efficiency, but at the end of the day, you have to really understand who is your ideal client for you to really connect to that person.
Right, that personal connection is so important. And
Yes.
it's a really good test that you did, right? Like,
Yes.
because everyone's trying to automate their social media and trying to automate
Mm-hmm.
their emails, but I guess in a sense it's good, but you still need to put your little touch to it, I guess, and your
Yeah.
brand. Very
Yeah.
interesting to know. And then I noticed, so it's not like you're saying stay away from AI because
No.
AI is here to stay with us. It's just almost everywhere. It's just learning how to use it
Yes.
properly in it. And then the juices from it is quite interesting too, because I will sometimes go there and say, same with you, like a social media post, you know, what should my post be about next week? And sometimes like, wow, that's a pretty good idea. Like, how does it know? It's like you said, it's this big brain.
Yes.
But at the same time, what it creates for you isn't quite reflective of me, sort of like you. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
go in. So it's kind of like your assistant, as you said, not
Yes.
to be dependent. It's not an act, even though there are agents now. So tell us about your agents. Like how many agents do you have, and
Yeah.
you
I'm
recommend agents?
Yeah, actually just starting in the whole space of agent, and for right now, I'm using them more for research. Like go crazy because I don't have time to do that, like the
I
deep
know, right?
research. And that's the piece that they're doing such a great job. I have another agent that is more about doing a little bit of well, I still have an accountant, but I think moving next year, I may not need that accountant anymore, at least not at the capacity I'm using it, because this agent is doing what my accountant used to do, or what it used to take me before hours to do, and then it just does it in a split of a second. It's crazy. So those are the kind of agents that I'm using more for the tactical stuff, but not so much the creativity. I'm still like going back, okay, Jenny, connect right with your intuition and your ideal client and make sure that yeah, that works.
Yeah, no, it's interesting on the agent or the bookkeeper, which is great.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I stumbled across an AI bookkeeping that's better than QuickBooks, and it talks to you, it
Nice.
classifies for you, but which leads to another thing. You know, do we think some of these agents are going to replace some of these jobs, and is it more of an upskill for people so that because it is the fourth industrial revolution at this time,
Yeah.
right? Where same thing with the horse and cart and a car, right?
Yeah.
Computers, internet. So now we are with that with AI. So it's here to stay. So the question really is, um, do you see an agent actually replacing a bookkeeper, but we probably still need them or not, for example, or you can use another agent.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, and I do think that the people who just did their, how do you say, their roles, and they were very repetitive, something that you could perhaps outsource to another person, a VA or things like that, I think those jobs are going away, yeah, to be honest with you. But that's how you have to really understand, comes back to don't fall in love with your business or your product, like fall in love with your client, and then how can you innovate so then the AI doesn't take away, you know, what's your magic thing. So for me as a coach, right, I'm already thinking, okay, it's more about the experience. It's not so much the information, because information is out there. But still, even though the information is out there, people are still struggling with the same things, right? So where is the gap, and how can I bridge that? And then
Right.
even in the future, as people say, okay, well, maybe people are going to get more used to AI and they're going to just embrace it and do it. There's still something that AI cannot, you know, replace. I have, these things that I love to have, how do you say, like have people in the beginning mindset and doing new things. And sometimes I
Yeah.
gather a group of people, right? And more of a community thing. And then we do like a sound bath. And people have never done that before. Just new experiences, just to like really build confidence and going through that growing mindset. So it's the experience, not so much the information. And many
Right.
times people learn more through the experience than the information. So that's how I am like, okay, I'm going to leverage AI.
Yes.
Perhaps there's going to be an AI Jenny, which I'm actually working already on.
Ooh,
But like people can have
digital
a
twin.
conversation at 3 in the
Yeah.
morning and not have to like send me a WhatsApp message. But sometimes people do, some of my clients. But still, the experience thing is the piece that is going to separate you. So, is how do you embrace AI? For
Yes.
you to, yeah, to reach to your client at a much intimate connection.
Yeah, that is tough. The personal touch, like we discussed earlier, that's really important that AI
Yes.
cannot replace. And also the sense of community that,
Yes.
we can't get. Um, and then I'm going to go over to entertainment because you were a dancer, cheerleader, and all that. Um, and also to go into your avatar or digital twin.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on that in terms of digital twins? I mean,
Yeah.
like, for all we know, I know it's you, but you could be someone else, right? You could have someone else
Yeah.
dancing, and entertainment is feeling very threatened by AI currently,
It,
right?
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And actually, my sister is a singer and a
Um,
dancer and a songwriter. So yeah, she don't even mention AI because she go on a tangent on that. And she's like, no. But anyway,
yeah.
she knows it's here to stay, and she's also saying that. But from an entertainment perspective, Carmen, I've seen robots trying to dance, and
Yes, I've
it's
seen
kind of
those.
like funny, haha. But there's
Because they
no
don't have the
way.
moves. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no, it's funny, haha, right? Like saying them, but there's no way you can transfer the emotion. And something
Right.
for me that a dancer does is, when I love to dance. And sometimes when you're seeing a dancer that you end up crying because you feel the emotion. I went to Spain in 2019, right before the pandemic, and I saw
Yes.
this flamenco, like very authentic flamenco. I was in tears, and my husband, I mean, he's okay with dancing, but he's like, "What's wrong with this lady? Why are you?" But I just connected to the feeling that they were transmitting. There's no way a robot can do that, right? So
No.
there's things that is still gonna be the artistic thing that is gonna be super beautiful. But yeah, like Pablo and I, our very caliente jingle is AI, right? That's not my expertise.
There you
We
go.
only need like 10 seconds of it, and hey, it sounds good. It has our names and very caliente. So it's all totally fine. So embrace it as it comes, but that emotion, there's no way a robot is gonna make me like cry because of their dancing. So that's that. And then talk about like the digital twin, right? So I have one of my coaches is Dan Martell, and he actually has a digital twin. The digital twin is phenomenal to the
Yes.
point that I'm like, oh, maybe this is gonna replace, me listening to him, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. Like, there's still this humanness. I don't know, like this experience that he can tell, the stories that he can recall on how he, like help a specific client that was very specific. Like, you cannot replace that. You can
Yes.
replace the tactics, the strategy, but that how you connect to somebody and learn through the experience of somebody else, you cannot connect that. And then the other thing, Carmen, is that I caught myself stop thinking. And I say,
Ah,
okay, yeah, I was trying to sell a product, and then instead of just going and putting my sales hat, right, I just totally put again like the blindfold and told Dan AI, which is his agent,
right.
hey,
His
do this
agent.
for me. Tell me what to say. How do I respond to this? Tell me. But
Yes.
to the
Yes.
point that I was doing that the whole time, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's no way I'm going to learn this skill if I'm totally relying on these things. So I think there is a balance there.
Yeah, no, totally. And like how you're saying you won't cry or because the robot or the twin cannot evoke the emotion.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
because it's probably lacking the authenticity in it, right?
Yes.
Because it
Yes.
doesn't seem right, the feeling isn't there and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, but I guess the entertainment world is embracing it somehow,
Yeah.
right? In a way to maybe correct dance moves, like you said, things like, but it cannot replace the emotion.
Yeah.
That would be there. So that I love that. And the digital twin, it is quite fascinating. It has come a long way,
Yes.
but we can still tell because sometimes now you see, say, hey, which one's the real me, right? Can you pick it
Yes.
out?
Yes.
And
Well,
like
and
you
the
said, it's
thing,
movement.
yeah, and the thing is that, one of the things that is one of my differentiators is also my energy. And people, oh, Jennifer, your energy, and almost I get, this is the feedback I get all the time from my coaching clients is that it doesn't matter the mood they were, before, after our meeting is done, they are elevating. Like their energy, you
Yes.
transfer energy, right? And their energy is up, and it's like, I don't know what happens after these meetings, but I feel like I got it. I can conquer the world. I don't think even myself, even if you mimic my accent and everything, I never feel
Sure.
so empowered and up in energy after talking to Claude, right? Or like ChatGPT. Doesn't matter what voice they use. It's not that I'm
Right.
like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Like my energy is so much
Right.
higher. You never feel like that.
That's true. I don't go, oh my gosh, I'm all like, wired
Yes,
and ready to go. Yeah,
right,
like our conversations here, like, let's go party afterwards. Yeah, you don't feel
right,
like that with Claude or Chat or any of that. That
right.
varies the point on it. Um, so what is your go-to AI?
I have
So
a
our audience will know.
trifecta.
Yes.
I have a trifecta. I have ChatGPT, I have Claude, and I have Manus. So those are the three things that I use right now, depending on the thing. I think what I realized, if I want something quick, like a quick sanity check, quick, that's my ChatGPT. And at some point, I thought about deleting it, but it still is, but I haven't yet. I haven't yet because he remembers everything. Like I can start a brand new chat and has context. I don't have to retrain, which sometimes I catch myself having to retrain Claude quite a bit. Even if I get embedded into the brain of Claude, he tends to
Oh,
forget a lot. I don't know why.
interesting, because I was saying now you can
Yes,
embed Chat into there, but maybe because it's
yes.
really new, it's taking time.
Yes. And then, but ChatGPT talks really, even if I say, please don't sound like ChatGPT or don't sound AI, it still sounds really
I
AI.
know.
Claude
Yes.
sounds more like a person, right? And then Manus is probably the best at agent work, at least in my experience so far. So I've been using Manus more for that piece than anything else. So yeah, I do a trifecta depending on what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, there's no real one go-to
Yeah,
place for a lot of people now. Like you said, Manus is really good for creating the agents.
yeah,
Very easy. And I'm noticing there's a lot more like Oprahly that are combining everything right now.
yes,
Yeah, so that's a one-stop shop, I guess, which will be easier because it's hard to go from one
yes.
to the other, and becomes very time consuming. And I think, God, aren't we supposed to be more efficient? And I'm not spending more time going to each
Yeah.
single one. But it's fascinating. And the end of the day, like you said, you've created an agent that will help you afterwards. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
fantastic to hear. So
exactly.
yeah, so we're kind of getting towards the end. I wanted to see what projects, promotions that you are in that, our audience could be interested, like where to find
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Yes, I'm literally working with the corporate leader who is really interested in starting something on the side. So this could
Okay.
be a brand, this could be a business, and even though they want to navigate both at the same time, I know I've been there, but at least it gives you optionality for the time if you want to choose, hey, I'm going to go all in on this business and build something on my own that is aligned. So that's really what I help people with through coaching and the mastermind that I have. So thank you. Yeah. And people can find me under Intentional Unicorn. That's my brand. And I love Instagram because I can connect better with you through stories and things like that more organically. But I'm in every single platform under Intentional Unicorn.
Yeah, I love that. The intentional unicorn, because you certainly are a unicorn. And we will know for sure it's you because, right, the digital
That's
twin does
true.
not have your bubbly personality that you generally
Yes.
have. I love it. And then I guess that's your next thing. And then do we see you dancing anywhere since you love to dance? Are there places we see you dance?
No, when it comes to dancing, it's all through social media. Like I told you, I
That's
found the
right.
time where yes,
We find
I
you on
found
Instagram.
a way to empower and still through dancing. And I also use my own experience when I go to dance classes of genres that I've never done before as the whole thing about, hey, work on your confidence muscle. Don't rely on the things that you're used to.
Yeah.
Continue to push outside of that comfort zone. And if you do it in a way that you enjoy it, then even better. So I use every kind of experience in life, I use it as a way to really empower people to dream big and go after those dreams, not because of the thing at the end, but because of the person you become.
Yeah, I love it. And here we have, thank you, Jenny, for J-Lo, Jenny, either one, for coming on our thing and learning about how you apply AI and authenticity and how you can also use it in your life to make things simpler. So
Thank you,
thank you
Carmen.
for joining us. All right.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.